Welcome back to the channel, folks. Today I want to go over the team I'm using for Penveid here, and this is definitely no crazy team or off meta team. This is pretty much standard. But the problem I really have with here with this Hall of Conquerors boss specifically is one, it's really heavy laden in RNG based on who Penveid is landing that heal reduction on first. And ideally it would land on King Arthur, and then it would, when he gets that immortality, it would cleanse it, and then you can use both aim and Turin to basically then heal him back up pretty quick. But seems like more often than not it ends up going on Tristan first, then Tristan gets knocked out pretty quick. But I haven't been able to reach anywhere close to 200 turns with this team, and mainly due to one is not having everything completely maxed out, like the chivalries, the relics, all the skills, the passives, the relic skills, etc. But also one thing that I don't have that other teams have that are using these same characters is a lot more HP on King Arthur and Tristan. But again, it just really goes down to the gear that I'm using on my account. But the most hearts I've got so far, I believe, is 44. But definitely, I mean, this is the team that most people are using for a reason, right? Because of the mechanics of it. I did go in and craft a new belt for Turin, which was a recovery belt. So then I was able to take the recovery off of her ring to make that life, to get more, not life, HP percentage, to get more heals, just to try to keep King Arthur alive when he does hit the immortality, and then he's cleansing himself for those 2 turns, but trying to get him healed up pretty quick so he can take that, withstand that next blast coming from Penveid, because he does smack really hard at everyone right before he puts that shield up. See right there where really need Turin to come in here and bring in some more heals. Nice, look at there, we done broke a new record for the account. Awesome. A lot of that really has to do with getting Turin some more of the HP, and even though Tristan did get the knocked out pretty quick, still to stay alive with just King Arthur's immortality passive, which is huge, right? Which is another reason why he's so meta on multiple teams, whether it's Hall of Conquerors or the arena or basically any dungeon. Well, so I don't think I've actually even made it this many turns yet either. But again, I've run it where the timing of Penveid when he lands that heal disruption, to where even if it hits Arthur first, the timing of where his HP is at currently, and it still doesn't matter. Maybe we can get 50. That'd be, nope. Dang it, so close to 50 there. And I'll just go ahead and go on and show you guys the equipment I'm using, the skill order sets, etc. And looks like I'll definitely be running this through multiple more times to try to see if I can at least get up to 50. I did make a small, not really say a small change, but I was able to get like 5 more hearts, I believe it is, with Megalon, just from getting another chivalry on Lucius, which was, fantastic. And then basically getting his relic up to level 60 and fully awakened. But more on Penveid for now, right? So going through, like I said, this is a team that most people are using. And as you can see here, like for Tristan, I am using his Flame Relic. You can use his Storm Relic. However, from what I was using him in other parts of the game, I was using his Flame Relic. So that's actually more maxed out than his Storm. So I don't have the resources right now to max out his Storm to try to use that instead. And using his Flame over his Storm doesn't really change whether Penveid's trying to land the heal reduction on him or not. So like I said earlier, that Tristan typically gets the heal reduction on him first. But looking at the score setting, I'm clearly just using, or solely just using Arthur's A2 because I'm relying on the debuffs coming from Tristan for him to be able to bring in that smack that comes in from the A2. And I'm just going back and forth between Ain's A3 and A2 for her buffs, but also thankfully having her at Shiva level 8, I believe it is. She's also doing a little bit of healing, which is nice. Now for Tristan, I'm going between his A1 and his A3 because it does smack 8 times. I wish, and again, that's RNG, where that's really hitting the main head or one of the tusks. So like taking on that shield much faster. And then for Tyrion, I'm solely using, or not solely, rather, I'm using her A2 and her A3. Because the A2, it does provide some buffs and a little defense up. But I want to make sure that, mainly for Arthur, when he gets down to where he cleanses himself and hits that immortality, that she's cycling through the A3 more often to make sure I can get his health back up. So we'll go through and look at the build for each of these characters. All right, so first off, in order here, Ain. Again, she's not really, she can do some pretty decent damage based off of her Storm Relic, which I definitely recommend you hold out to get that in the shop. That and Morgan's Storm Relic. If I were to pick between the two, I would definitely go for Morgan's first. That's what I did. But I digress. Looking at her total stats here, nothing too crazy. She is 215. I like to have all these characters a little bit faster. But again, I don't want to spend the time or try to track trying to move all the gear around from one character to another character each time I want to do a stage of the game, or swapping back and forth between the different Hall of Conquerors teams, because that just gets, it takes a lot more time, takes a lot more gold, etc. But then you also have to keep track of, you know, who moved what to try to get back on that character for the next time you try to do that Hall of Conquerors run, right? So going through equipment, I do have her in a Vigor and a Resistance set. I would love to have this as a 6-star resistant ring so I can get that 9 more attack speed. But I am just trying to go through and maximize her effect resistance and attack because her damage scales off of attack and effect resistance. Again, I would like to have a 6-star belt here, effect resistance. And I just have a strive from when I was using her and arena all the time, but don't really use her that much anymore. So I might have to go in and look at maybe trying to get a different belt for her as well. Attack speed on the orb. Again, this is just, I don't think I have a better attack speed on the account. Just check here real quick. And nope. So again, I need to go and do some dungeon farming and equipment crafting. And then I just have an HP banner. Just because of trying to help bring a little bit of those heals for the team. But I actually would like to have, say, more Pierce or something else, because she can do quite a bit of damage. I may look at trying to, I don't know if, since it's based off of her chivalry, if I get her an immortal set and it actually will give her a barrier. So I think I'll probably try that out. Actually, I'm gonna bring this up to level 12 here, and then I'll go ahead and put this on here. And then I'll have to go through, let's see, craft an immortal belt. I won't do all this on the video, but I'll do this offline and I'll try that again to see if that will actually maybe help keep her alive a little bit longer. To also help get those hearts back up. Looking at Caliber Arthur, he is in my best Ascension gear, which is far from the greatest. But looking at total stats, so he is pretty fast and he has pretty good attack. So since it is based off of turns, I may go in and look at maybe slowing him down a little bit to try to get more HP and maybe a little bit more attack and sacrifice some speed there to see if maybe I can get some more hearts out of Penveid. But I do have him in a critical set. And an Ascension set, obviously, for the damage. And I have them in Strife because of Arena, not because of the Hall of Conquerors. But, again, working off of what I have, I don't really have good belt here that would be good for Arthur. but also have that speed. I don't want to give up that 6 speed there. But again, maybe that's something I look at, swapping out his belt for something better, or getting back in those dungeons, or crafting some more or some better gear. But and I have him in a critical set because of I don't have his silvers maxed out. So if I had him, see I'm missing on 15% attack there, some more survivability, which would definitely help, and some more attack and crit rate, and defense and crit rate. So if I had him at silver level 9, I'd have 30% more crit rate. So I probably would swap that crit rate out for, say, damage set or something else, just to try to maximize the damage coming from Arthur. Because like I said, he can smack pretty hard. So looking at Tristan, take a look at his total stats. His attack is pretty good, and his attack is also based off of attack and speed, so that's why I have him at 302 speed. He's not my fastest character on my account, but I think he's either the second or third fastest. But again, primarily because of his attack goes off of attack speed. So attack speed on the ring there, obviously, and I just have him in a critical set because of it's what I had for double rolls for speed there. Same thing here, I got a 6-star attack percentage necklace, but also I got a double roll of speed there. So as far as just equipment goes per character, he's probably the best equipped that I have based on the gear sets and the character's mechanics. But again, he can smack pretty hard, bring a lot of damage, but I also have him in there to ensure that he's landing those debuffs. That's why I have him in that effect accuracy belt there, to try to make sure he's landing those debuffs. And again, I also have them in broken pieces because it's what I have for trying to maximize attack speed, etc. on the account. And then last but not least, Turin. Total stats here. So I did get, she was like 10,000, almost 10,000 HP less before I made the change here. Again, she's definitely the slowest one. So I'd like to get more speed on her, but again, just trying to go through and maximize the equipment that I have per character. It's just kind of the best I can do for now. But I do have her in a life and a vigor set. I did get lucky to end up only crafted 1 belt, thankfully. And I was able to get 36% recovery, which is fantastic. And I got a +1 roll of speed there, so she was even slower than she was before. But I did previously have her in a recovery ring because of not having that recovery belt. So I did swap that out for HP percentage. Now, I would also recommend, necessarily for your healers, you don't have to have them in attack speed ring if you can have the attack speed in the orb. So you can maximize between your HP and your recovery, because if you don't have, you're going to have high HP but low recovery, you're not going to do nowhere near the amount of healing for your team. So it's kind of a balance there. And again, I did want her to be in the immortal set to get that barrier for the team. So, hey, I'm pretty happy. I was not expecting making that small change. Again, there was some RNG there to pick up some more hearts there. So I'm definitely going to trudge along to see if I can get my team to get 50 hearts from Penveid. Because right now, if I go and look at the group, I'm number 42 for the group. But last time I was like 42, 42, 43. And then like the day before, I guess everyone decided to play the game, and it's like, bam, next day I'm like level 60, and I kind of got bumped out. But if I take a quick look here and see 42. So I have, oh, that's the world. Definitely not number 42 for the world, that's for sure. So 153 hearts. So if I get bumped out past 50, so I'm looking at 143. So basically 10 hearts away. So if I were to basically do nothing, I would still stay in the top 50 there. All right, well, sorry for running on so much this time on the video, but thanks for stopping by. And hey, I'm excited that I was able to pick up more hearts and also do it for the video itself, so that's pretty cool. But as always, you know, if there's things that you'd like to see, guides or character callouts or etc., or maybe some off-meta teams for Arena or Hall of Conquerors or any other dungeon levels, please just drop those comments below.